Hello, everybody. How's it going? How's it hanging? I'm here with my second episode of Oceanview, my podcast. I kind of wanted to do a little introduction thing because I didn't necessarily do that in the first one. I don't think I kind of blocked out whatever the fuck I did for the first one. I don't remember. Um, that was primarily a recap video of 2023. So this is the second episode of the newer Ocean View that I'm doing, but it's kind of like the first episode. This is January 2024, first month of the year. Kind of, first episode, sort of. First official episode, I guess. That's not a recap. So yeah, I kind of want to do like a little introduction. I don't know exactly what to say though. I had thoughts in my head, and now they're all melting away. But I'll say something. Hi, I'm Andrew, Thick Manatee. Uh, Call me whatever, it doesn't matter. Maybe not thick. People have called me thick, like just the one word, like that. I don't. Manatee's right there. You can just say that. That's quick enough. But it doesn't matter. Whatever. Um, I'm a YouTuber, I guess now, or trying to be. This is mainly just like a hobby at the moment. Like most people start out in this profession. This is definitely not a profession for me. I make no money still. I have like 100 subscribers on my main channel. That's not much. I need at least 500 to start making any money, and I'm sure that would be uh, cents or possibly dollars, like 2 or 3. So yeah, don't make any money. This is all for fun, personal stuff. At the moment, I'm trying to improve my editing and stuff, and this podcast is mainly for trying to get my thoughts out because I think about a lot of things and have a lot of thoughts on a lot of stuff, and I can't make a video about everything I could, but then it would, take a very long time to get to certain things that I want to get to. Also, of course, right when I'm recording this, there's a helicopter flying over my house. I hope that's not picking up on my mic. It might not be, I don't know. But yeah, this is a place for me to talk about various things. I got some notes in front of me, and I've sectioned off stuff into movies, TV, video games, and then some stuff that I'm trying to get into more of so I can talk about it on this anime and comic books. And then at the end, I'll talk about some personal stuff. In the past on Oceanview, I edited the videos, put a lot of just videos and text over it, just to give you something visual. But I don't feel like doing that at the moment. I'm trying to focus all my editing on my main channel videos. Everything else that I want to do, like video game related or something, I'm just trying to upload it, maybe edit some stuff in the future. I do want to edit certain things. I got a terabyte of Elden Ring footage on my computer. I recorded all of my Elden Ring gameplay in 2022 when it came out, all 92 hours of it. So I would like to edit that at some point, but it's gonna take a really long fucking time. It's 92 hours. But yeah, for stuff like this, I'm just trying to make it a little I'm trying not to do too much with it. I'm just gonna be talking. There's no music or anything in the background, probably because it'll get copyrighted or it might be distracting. I might do stuff in the future. I would like to, but at the moment, I'm just trying to keep up with this and get into a rhythm, I guess. I don't know. So, and I'm probably rambling a lot, so I don't know what else to say about an introduction. I'll probably say more stuff in the future about me. I don't know. I also wanted to, point out I've got a video here of manatees swimming around. It's It's not a live stream, but it was a live stream at one time. I can't remember the actual name of the YouTube channel, but you can see the savethemanatee.org there. I'm not associated with that group or company or anything at all. I don't really know much about them, honestly. I've just watched some manatee things over the years. I guess I'll give you some little quick lore because I'm thinking about it, and now's the time since I'm mentioning manatees. My name, Thick Manatee, is just an Xbox generated name. I did not come up with it on my own. I made it separate. Xbox account from my main one, probably to get a free Xbox Live something a month or a couple weeks or something like that. And the name that got generated was Thick Manatee. So I actually did not come up with this name on my own. I've had it for at least 10 years or so. Probably longer. Yeah, it's been a while. But it's all thanks to Xbox. Thank you, Xbox, which unfortunately might be shutting down production of consoles soon. There's been rumors of that, but I won't talk about that too much. Um, yeah, Thick Manatee is just a Xbox name. I have no real interest in manatees. However, I've gotten one since I got the name, and I love looking at them. They're so cute and beautiful, and I know that they are a little. I don't know if they're exactly endangered, but I know they're not a very populous species. So I'm not affiliated with Save the Manatee at all, but I've used some of the videos. I don't make any money off of it, so I assume it's fine that I use these videos. If there ever is an issue with me showing this stuff, I would hope they would let me know, and then I change it easily. But I figured I'll just show this stuff because it's manatees, and I like manatees, and I'm a manatee. So it seems like a good thing to show as a background video. And if you're interested at all, go look into that more. I'm again not affiliated in any way. I have thought in the past that it would be cool in the future if I could like contact them somehow, if I ever do somehow get a bunch of viewers and like I can tell people to help out or something. That would be nice. That would be a nice like charity type thing. It fits me as my name, but it would also be a good thing. So that's not happening anytime soon though. But yeah, just check that out if you want to. I've always wanted to say something like this, and now I'm saying it too much. I'm rambling too much. So let me talk about January 2024 now. The stuff I actually want to talk about. So January, I was working on some of my videos, my two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle videos, which you can go watch. Those are out on my main channel at the time I'm recording this. And I watched a lot of Turtles movies. I'm going to talk about movies first here. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place with my thoughts. But first, we're going to talk about movies. I'm going down the line in my notes. First up's movies. Only movies I watched in all of January, and I'm going to actually open my letterbox as I'm talking and make sure that that is correct. That I only watched these movies in January. Actually, didn't I? No, they all January. So yeah, all I watched in January was the second Michael Bay TMNT, and then the other three movies. I'm not going to talk about those too much. You can go watch my videos for my opinions. But the only other movie I watched was Anatomy of a Fall, which is a French film. It's is it nominated for Best Picture? I can't actually remember. I have a picture of the Best Picture nominees. I need to find that real quick. Right here. Yeah, it's nominated for Best Picture. It's a French movie. It came out last year at some point. Don't know exactly when, but I heard it was pretty good. I wanted to watch it for a while, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. I like. I guess it's a crime mystery lawyer type movie. There's a lot of time spent in a law office in a courtroom. I don't know, not a law office, in a courtroom. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a woman and her husband, and they live in France, I believe, because everybody speaks French. I'm pretty sure it's France. I don't remember if they ever actually say where, but yeah, a woman and her husband living in France. They have a small son, a young son as well. He's blind, or like partially blind. I actually was kind of confused about that, but yeah, that's the main characters, and then they're kind of in the wilderness, sort of. It's all snowy, and it's close to the beginning of the movie. It's in like the first 10 minutes. The husband falls out of their big window, or like he's working on their house. They're kind of renovating it, and the husband falls from the top of the roof or attic or something, and he dies. And then the whole movie's about wondering or figuring out how that happened, what happened exactly. Of course, the wife gets accused, and there's a lot going on with that because she was the only one there. The son was out at the time for a walk, with his dog. So yeah, whole movie's about figuring out what exactly happened. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it. Like I said, it's a very good movie. I think you should watch it. But I will say my opinion about the ending. I think it's a very interesting story because like it ends one way. There is a verdict, but it's kind of left a little open ended. Like, is that what really happened? And I personally think the verdict that gets decided, I think the opposite should have happened. So I'll just let you consider that if you've seen the movie. And if not, yeah, I'd recommend it. It's pretty good. Best picture worthy, I think the main actress, Sandra Hüller or something like that. I think she's German, if I'm correct. Um, I believe so. I'm not actually 100% sure, but I think she was German. Yeah, she's nominated for Best Actress, I believe. And she was very good. She's very convincing. Did a good job in that role. And good movie. But that's like the only movie that I have to talk about because I was just watching Turtles movies for my videos and I didn't really want to watch too many other movies because I felt like my thoughts on the Turtles videos would get kind of overwritten by other movies. Um, I write down notes and stuff for my big videos, but I don't know. I feel like if I just get too many other things in my head, I might forget. So that'll be it for movies. And then in terms of TV, I also did not watch a whole lot of TV. Only thing I really watched was The Bear season 1, which I've seen before. I've seen the whole show. I rewatched the first season because I wanted to make a video out of that actually instead of my 90s TMNT video that I did make. But I wasn't feeling 100% about it. I still really want to make that video, but I didn't want to make it. I don't think I want that video to be like amateurish. I'm thinking I might save that video for when I actually am a little more experienced at doing this, you know? So, because that's a very, very good show, and I really want to like illustrate that in my video. I want people to know how fucking good it is. So, I'm probably gonna make that video some other time. I did rewatch the first season though, and it's very, very good still. I'll probably rewatch season 2. I just saw it like earlier, actually today. Season 3 is apparently supposed to come out in June, so that's not too far away. Very excited for that. So that's it for TV and movies. Didn't watch a whole lot of stuff, at least movie and TV. Movies and TV. I did watch some anime, I'll get to that later. I did play a good bit of video games. Got into some new games. Played some games that I've tried in the past and didn't really stick with. And saw one showcase thing. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I guess I could start with that since I brought that up. Final Fantasy 14 had a fan fest it was the Japanese one, I believe. You'll probably notice some cuts. I keep accidentally playing some sound over my mic, so you see some cuts. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cut this, but I keep being stupid, so I gotta cut some stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna start over with the Final Fantasy stuff. I was just talking about this, but yeah, Final Fantasy 14. They had a fan fest in Japan, and they announced some more stuff about Dawn Trail, which is the next expansion. Comes out in the summer. I don't believe there's a date yet still, but summer. I'm gonna assume like June probably, possibly July. I think Shadowbringers came out in July. I didn't play 14 then, but I kept seeing a lot about it. Yeah, announced a lot of new stuff, a lot of new zones that look really cool and very different. There's like some tropical piratey type zones, and then there's like cyberpunk futuristic shit somehow. Don't know how those fit together, but we'll find out. I'm very interested to see that. Most other people are from what I saw. People are just like, what the hell's going on? How the hell does this match up? Because from the beginning, it seems like a pirate type ocean, beach, kind of tropical type expansion. But now we got like, futuristic stuff and neon and all that in it, and that's very strange, but looks neat. Um, don't know exactly what to talk about too much. I didn't record that. I recorded the original one, and that was in Las Vegas. Kind of wanted to record this one, but kind of just wanted to watch it for myself. It was like late at night too, I think, because Japan. Um, yeah, it was cool. The biggest thing I can remember is they announced the second job. They announced Viper, which was the first one. That's kind of like the poster job. Uh, in like October of last year, I think. I don't remember. I think it was the EU Fan Fest. They announced that. That looks pretty fun. I think I'm gonna play that for MSQ. And they also announced a brand new one, a caster, which I was kind of hoping was like cool, like on the black mage kind of side of things. But they announced something that's not like that, although it is very unique and it's kind of cool in its own way. They announced the Pictomancer. So it's a painting job class, which looks very strange, very weird, but very unique. So I am interested in that. I will definitely play it and see how it turns out. I'm excited for it when it comes out, but yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I'm not playing a lot of 14 right now. I should be playing MSQ. I have a sub right now, and I've had it for at least a week or two, and I still haven't even touched MSQ because I resubbed just for that, and I've been fucking around. So I've been busy with the other, my video and stuff. But I'm gonna try to record MSQ before my sub runs out. So yeah, looks fun. Excited for when that happens. Just hope it doesn't come out around the time of the final shape, the final Destiny expansion. I think I'll have to prioritize Destiny over Final Fantasy because Endwalker, took priority to Destiny before because that was the end of Final Fantasy stuff. Now the final shape is the end of Destiny stuff, so that's gonna kind of take priority because I love both those games. But I have been playing Destiny for 10 years. I've only been playing Final Fantasy for 2, so 3-ish. So yeah, excited for when that comes out. We'll see when exactly. I will be recording MSQ for that. I'm excited. Um, I'll get some of these other things out the way. I almost passed up. I'll say this. I kind of wanted to go through some quick things. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about smaller things, and then I'll talk about the two big things. Smaller things I watched. I did not play, but I watched full playthroughs of Alan Wake and Control because YouTuber streamer man that I watch, Bricky, shout out to him. If you don't know him, he's cool, makes Warhammer stuff. That's how I found him originally, 40k. But he makes a lot of video game stuff on the side, and he's been playing through the Remedy games, which I wanted to do myself. But he started doing them, and I was gonna play them and then like watch his reaction. But I realized, that's gonna take a while to play all those games on my own, and then also I have to watch his entire stuff. I don't have to, but I wanted to. So I decided to just watch his stuff. And so I didn't play those games, but I saw the whole game. So I think they're pretty cool. I like Remedy stuff. I like how they do things. It's a little outlandish at times, I guess, but very interesting. He just started Alan Wake 2, so I just started watching that. Didn't see much about Alan Wake 2 before now. Now I'm actually seeing the gameplay in full. Looks fun, and I'd actually really like to play the next Remedy game, whatever it is. So I guess Control 2 maybe, or Alan Wake 3 or something. We'll find out, but I like the universe. It's cool. I don't really have too much to say about specifics because that would take an hour by itself just to talk about the stories of those games, but very cool. Very nice universe they got. I like him. Yeah. And also, I'm pretty sure it was January, right? I wrote it here, so it must have been January. I think it was like the last week of January. Pal World came out, a Pokemon kind of game, survival Pokemon game. Some people would probably say a ripoff or knockoff. It kind of is. That came out, and I did not play it with any friends. I only played it briefly, like one night by myself. It's fine. It's cool. I gotta talk about it because it was like the most popular game in the fucking world for some reason for like a week or two. It's still pretty popular, but I don't know if it's as popular as it was. But that's a cool game. I played it a little bit. I think it was fun. I'll probably get into it more at some point when I can actually buy it. I actually didn't buy it. I just played it on Game Pass. When I can actually buy it on Steam or my friends own it, that's why I couldn't play with them. When I actually buy it, I'll probably have more to say about that. And then the last little quick thing I want to talk about that I will definitely talk about in depth more next month in February. Uh, I started playing Marvel Snap. It's a mobile game that's also on Steam. It's a card game that has Marvel cards. I had played it in the past, but I don't think I even got out of the tutorial stuff. I thought it was fun, but like I don't know, I didn't stick around with it. And then I just came back randomly last month because I wanted to play something on my phone. I don't really like mobile games. The best mobile game I ever played, I played Hearthstone a lot in high school. In my senior year in 2015, I had a library type class where I just did homework or fucked around, and I fucked around and played Hearthstone for the whole class, which is very fun. And I also really love Spider-Man Unlimited. I think was that the title. Like I'm sad I can't remember the title, but it was great. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man Unlimited. It was like a temple run type game, but it was Spider-Man. So there was web swinging and sliding and punching and stuff. And then it was right around the time the Spider-Verse was kind of becoming a thing before the movie, like in the comics. And so they just added a bunch of shit to the game, and it was really cool. Like a bunch of spider people. Very fun. Unfortunately, that game is shut down, and I'm depressed about that. But yeah, besides those two games, I haven't really played a lot of mobile games consistently. But I tried Marvel Snap again, and I really liked it. I actually really liked the style of the game where you gotta like win the locations kind of instead of like taking out someone's health or something like that. Yeah, I've played a few card games, Hearthstone, Legends of Runeterra. They're fun, but I just really like the style of Marvel Snap, how it plays. And then I also really like Marvel. I've kind of been on a Marvel kick, which you'll hear about in a minute with the main game I wanted to talk about. Yeah, tried that again. Pretty fun game. I'll probably talk about it in depth more in February because I started like right at the end of January. I've started really playing it right now in February, so I'll talk about that in the next episode. So I guess I'll segue into uh the thing that kind of one of the things that kind of made me in a put me in a Marvel kick right now because I've been really into Marvel stuff at the for January and a bit of February, and not because of like movies or TV anything. I haven't even watched like the last couple things. I still haven't seen Loki, even though I heard it's good. Never watched Secret Invasion. I heard that's really bad. I don't think I ever will watch that. Didn't see Ant-Man last year at all. I saw the Marvels. I thought it was fine. Haven't seen Echo, which came out in January. I kind of wanted to watch that, but didn't. So, besides Marvel TV and movies, I'm actually really into everything else because I started playing Midnight Suns, which came out, I think, in 2021, maybe 2022. I can't remember exactly when. And heard about it a lot. Seemed cool, but never wanted to play it like right on release. Didn't hear anything like too crazy about it. But for some reason, people started talking about it a lot, like around Christmas, January, beginning of January. And I had some, leftover Christmas money. Midnight Suns was on sale for pretty cheap. I was like, I'll try it out. It's made by the same people who make XCOM. And I think they made some Civilization games. I'm not sure. I've played both of those. I do really like XCOM, even though I haven't played it a lot. Like I guess I had like 10 to 20 hours on it probably. I don't think I ever beat it. But I do like the gameplay. Midnight Suns is sort of similar, but it's different. It also has like a card system. But yeah, it's very unique. I don't know how to explain it, but I actually really enjoy the combat. People said that's like the best part of it, and it is really fun. You kind of like shove people into stuff. You usually have like cards that do knockback, and then you knock the enemies into another enemy or into like an explosive thing or into a wall to do like extra damage. So there's a lot of interesting stuff with the gameplay. It's very fun. And then the flip side of that is there's the Abbey, which I guess is like an actual location that I don't really know too much about in the comics, but I'm assuming it's an actual thing in the comics because it's a location in Marvel Snap. So I'm assuming it's got more history than just Midnight Suns. But maybe they put it in there for Midnight Suns. I'm actually not sure because they have Midnight Suns cards in Snap. I don't know if that happened when the game came out. I don't know. But the Abbey is like a place where, oh god, Caretaker? I haven't played it in a while. I actually never beat the game either, but I did play like 2/3 of it and I want to beat it. So I gotta remember everything. But Caretaker is a character. I don't know her that well, but she's like a witch, I believe, and she and Agatha Harkness, who was a character in WandaVision, so people probably know her. Two of them were like witches and they were fighting against Lilith, who was a demon goddess something. I don't exactly know how she is in Marvel. The only Lilith I know is from Diablo, and she's like, demon, devil, goddess, whatever, trying to destroy the world and all that stuff. And Agatha and Caretaker, they own, I guess, the Abbey, and they work with the Hunter, who is the character that you play as, who is the daughter of Lilith. And the Hunter is like, Hunter's dead at the beginning of the game. They have to get reborn, and then you pick who your character is, and get brought back to life, And then the whole rest of the game, you're trying to stop Lilith because she's trying to take over the world. She actually takes over like other superheroes, like the Hulk and the Scarlet Witch and stuff. And you gotta just fight with all the other heroes. The Avengers are in it. You got Spider-Man, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Cap, both of the Caps, Captain America, Captain Marvel. Got a lot of them. And then you've also got the Midnight Suns, which are like kind of a combination of a lot of characters. You got Blade, who's not typically on teams if I'm correct. Ghost Rider, it's Robbie Reyes, who's like the newer one. One of the newer ones. Not Johnny Blaze, not the typical Ghost Rider. You got Magic, who's an X-Man. I didn't know much about her before the game, honestly. And Nico Minoru, who I also didn't know much about at all, but she's from the Runaways. Never watched that. I did find out that that's pretty cool that she's the voice actress in the game is the same actress as the show, the Runaways TV show. That was cool. Yeah, there's a lot of characters like that. Midnight Suns and Avengers all kind of come together and they gotta stop Lilith. Pretty fun story, I think. It kind of starts off a little cheesy, and I feel like some of the voice acting isn't perfect, which is weird because a lot of the voice actors are like really well known, good voice actors. Like I was saying, I feel like Nico is from the TV show, and I saw a couple clips from that. I never watched the show, but I saw a couple clips, and she seems good in that. But I feel like she's not the best voice actress because she feels a little flat sometimes, I guess. I like her personality and her character and her story and everything, but I don't know, the voice comes off kind of strange sometimes. Same with Tony Stark, who is just kind of a Robert Downey Jr. Doppelganger, I don't know, like in terms of character, but he's got a little bit more depth to him, and I like that. Just, again, his voice sounds kind of weird, and that's very strange because I believe it's Josh Keaton, who has played a bunch of roles. He's Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man. He's a pretty good voice actor. And there's moments where Tony sounds good, but sometimes he sounds very weird. And I don't know. Some of the voice actors sound strange, but then a lot of the other ones sound really good. I don't want to talk about everybody, but most of them sound pretty good, do a very good job. And like I said, yeah, it starts off kind of strange at the beginning. Like, it just kind of throws you into stuff, and then there's a lot of bad jokes and, corny stuff. But as it goes on and, you talk to the people as the hunter, like, I don't know, it's a lot more depth and personality to it. And then on top of the combat, it's a really fun experience. I like the game a lot. It's very enjoyable. I was actually kind of considering like maybe making a video about that in the future, because I want to kind of try to do like video game review type videos. And I might make one about Midnight Suns because I really enjoy it. and there's a lot of stuff I can talk about. I could talk about the stuff that I feel is a little lackluster, and then all the stuff that I really enjoy. So might talk about that more in the future. I don't want to talk about it too much now, but it's a very fun game. I would recommend checking it out if you're a Marvel fan. It's not like Avengers. It's kind of, I'd say it's probably more in the vein of like, it's not Spider-Man level. Like, it's not as good as the Spider-Man games. Those are just really fucking good. And it's not like disappointing like the Avengers game. I'd say it's probably in the vein of the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which I have played, not to completion. I played like 4 hours, but that was a game that people thought like, I don't want to touch that. That's got to be a lame, boring Marvel game. But it's actually pretty cool from what I've heard and the little bit that I played. And Midnight Suns is similar. You would think it's kind of lame, and at times, yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's pretty exciting and fun when you really get into it, I think. And if you can get it on sale for like, 15, $20, that would be perfect. It's definitely worth that, I feel like. Because I've already got like 40, 50 hours on it, and I've only gotten to, I just started the last, like Act 3, I believe, so. Yeah. Good game, very fun. I'd recommend it. Lastly, I wanted to talk about Power Wash Simulator, which I started playing around Christmas. I bought that. I was looking for a game to just kind of play while I was watching streams or something, while I was taking a break from, doing work and just wanted to zone out and watch something and play a game that I didn't have to think about too much. I got Power Wash Simulator for that, and it's a very cozy game. I like that a lot about it. But it also kind of has like a sense of accomplishment to it. Like, it's really fun when you complete a job after, however long you do it. And I felt like there was a lot of fun, like small details to it too. Because it's essentially just, you wash a thing, a car or a building or something like that. You gotta wash all the dirt off of it. But there's like neat little, details too. There's like stuff that shows up in later jobs that was in earlier jobs. You get like text messages from the people who hire you, and they're all pretty unique. There was one time where like you're cleaning something for like a teacher, I think, or a mother or something, and then their kid takes their phone and texts you something like, I got a poopy, but it's like from, Mrs. whoever. So it's like, why was she saying that to me? And then later on she's like, oh, my kid took my phone. So it's just fun little details like that. That's a good way to like connect you, I guess, to the game, even though it's really not that deep of a thing. And there was also, yeah, a job where you had to clean it. I want to talk about one in particular that was really fun. One detailed thing that I really liked. There's a job where you have to clean a carousel at a carnival, and the person tells you something like they don't want the competition to see that, like, see exactly who's cleaning the ride. So they ask you to like hide your van that says the name on it. And I was thinking to myself, do I have another van? Am I just gonna like use a second van? Because I thought I only had the one. And it turns out I do only have the one. And so to counteract that, like my character, off screen just covered up the name with like cardboard and newspapers, which was very funny. So just, yeah, small little details like that is really enjoyable. I like that a lot. It's a fun little engaging game, but it's not like too engaging. You can get really into it, but you could also just like kind of zone out or just like take a break. It's not something that all has to be done at once. You don't feel like you got to do everything right now. You can do a little bit here, a little bit there. And you get a little bit of fun stuff in between, like the detailed stuff I was mentioning. So pretty fun, enjoyable game. That's also another game you can get for cheap. That's definitely worth it. You're just looking for something to play, but not necessarily like interact with too much. Good stuff. So that would be about it for the video game talk. Played a few, just fun, relaxing type games. Nothing too serious. And then yeah, that's kind of it for my typical stuff that I would talk about: movies, TV, video games. Because this is only like 30 minutes due to that, I kind of wanted to try to add some other stuff that I'm interested in but don't interact with often. But if I talk about it for Oceanview, then I feel like I'll have a reason to, get into it more. So, one of the things I want to talk about is anime. I mentioned this in my last video, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I've decided that I'm going to watch an anime per season. So, for winter 2024, I'm going to be talking about an anime, and that'll cover multiple months because it's typically an anime season is like 3 months, I believe. Usually like 12 to 13 episodes. So I'm going to talk about ideally 4 episodes per Oceanview episode. And unfortunately, I only have 3 to talk about for this one because I was a little lazy and didn't watch the 4th episode for this anime that I chose. But yeah, I'm going to talk about a different anime each season depending on what I want to talk about. I think I picked a good one this season. Next season in the spring, I think starting in April, I'm gonna probably watch Konosuba because I don't remember the actual full title of that anime, but yeah, Konosuba. I watched that before. I really enjoyed it. It was very funny, I thought. And there's a season 3 coming out. Oh yeah, and I just remember too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch 2 anime for the spring season. This Konosuba's coming out, a new season of that. I'd like to watch that, but the real big hitter is coming out as well. Season 3 of Yuru Camp. Fuck, I just ruined the momentum there. Yuru Camp, laid back camp, I believe is what they call it in English. It's a camping anime that I fucking love. That's the best, one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's about some girls and they're in high school and they have a club and they go camping, and that's it. And it's the best shit I've ever seen. They go out and they just hang out and they eat ramen and cook other stuff. They gotta, pack their stuff properly, set up the tent, just hanging out. They gotta pick the spot where they go. It's a slice of life. It's really hardcore slice of life because they just do the most mundane stuff. But I love slice of life. I'll get that out the way now, I guess, if I haven't mentioned before. I like a lot of anime, but slice of life is my shit. I love when it's just, you know, nonsensical, nothing, boring type stuff happening. And then I guess I kind of like Moe a little bit because K-On! I watched K-On! When I was in high school. I love that, and it's just fun, seeing the wholesome stuff happening, and I really enjoy it. So I'll have to watch that in spring. I have to actually talk about the anime that I'm currently watching, though. I'm getting very sidetracked. Sorry. So for winter 2024, I picked Dungeon Meshi, which is it's called Delicious in Dungeon, I think, in English, but nobody calls it that. I've only seen Dungeon Meshi, which I forgot. I don't know if Meshi means delicious. I don't think it does, but it's like a cooking thing. So it's an anime. It's fantasy. I believe it's like actual fantasy. They have a thing where they like die, but they can get revived. I don't think it reminds me of like Sword Art or something. I don't believe it's a video game. I'm pretty sure it's just real fantasy. It's not like an isekai or anything. It's just fantasy, I believe. So they go through a dungeon a lot. We follow the main few characters and the one guy, Laos. I don't actually know how to say his name. Laos. He likes to cook food, but he wants to like cook the monsters that they encounter, which is very strange. But it turns out to be very funny and actually enjoyable. It kind of is like a food porn-ish anime. Not one where like girls are moaning or anything, which I might have seen a couple of those because I was interested, but it's not that kind of an. It's like they're focusing on the food, not the not the characters as well. I mean, it focuses on the characters, but it's mainly about the cooking aspect, and then they eat it and like, hey, that's pretty good, and then they move on. But yeah, they have a big focus on the food, and it's a very interesting idea. It's also made by Trigger, who I love. I watched a lot of Trigger stuff. Kill la Kill, watch that. back in the day, about 10 years ago now. I really want to rewatch that. It's so fucking good. It's oh my god. It's like you would think it's fan service. Most people do when they see it, and it is. But it has a really cool story too. It's one of those. I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, of course. Love that. Uh, I watched Dynazenon and Gridman. Couldn't think of the name. I love Gridman. Love their Love Triggers Star Wars Visions stuff that they did. And I don't really remember exactly how it works, but I think people like who are Trigger originally worked on Gurren Lagann, and then I think some of those people worked on Evangelion. Evangelion's my favorite anime, and I love Gurren Lagann as well. So I really like Trigger. They're a great company, and this has some of their. I feel like this isn't as crazy as a lot of their other stuff because a lot of their other stuff gets crazy and insane. This has like the humor of their stuff, as far as I can tell, but it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's also on Netflix, so it's easy to watch. But I enjoy it. The first episode, I don't remember exactly what happens. It's fun. It's like a good setup thing. Marcille, I think. I don't know exactly how to pronounce all these names, but I think it's Marcille, the girl. She's an elf. She's a classic girl failure, as we see from the first episode, and that's fun. She just sucks at everything, and I kind of like that. I actually enjoy those characters a lot. They're fun. Instead of, big titty bouncing around anime girl, it's just like, damn, she sucks at life, which is fun to watch. Um, there's also Senshi. I wanted to shout him out. He's like a little dwarf man, and he's the guy who cooks a lot of stuff, and he's pretty cool. He knows how to cook like everything. There's a few things that they run into that he doesn't know how to cook, but most of the other stuff he's just a pro at. And he's just like, yeah, dude, I'll just hang out and follow you guys around as long as I can cook shit. So he's great. And then there's also Chill Chuck, which is a weird name, but he's like a little small dude, and he's a rogue type character. He like picks locks and does trap type stuff. He's a sneaky guy, and that's like the four main characters that I've seen so far in the first 3 episodes. Second episode, I remember was pretty good because Marcille was trying to like do stuff on her own, and they were trying to pick. I don't remember exactly what they were, but it was like, was it Mandragora? Can't remember. I don't remember if that's a common fantasy thing or if that's like Final Fantasy. They're trying to pick a monster, little creature in the ground who grows like a little turnip or something, but it screams when you pull it out, and it can like kill people. That's how loud it screams. And Senshi was like, you cut their head off and like take the top part, and that's what we use for the food. But Marcille was trying to be like, no, I gotta do what this book is telling me, because she's kind of a mage, studious type character. She's like, I gotta do what the book tells me, and then she's fucking stuff up because of that. And that was a fun episode, I guess. Nice episode, because she was like learning that she doesn't have to do everything on her own, or not exactly the way that books tell her. The second episode was like a big learning episode. That was the first half of it, and then the second half was Chilchuck, the rogue guy, and he was focusing on traps. They went into an area with traps, and he was focusing only on the traps, while Senshi was focusing only on the cooking. But they realized that they kind of had to overlap a little bit. He needed some cooking knowledge because Senshi wanted help, and then Senshi could cook better if he got some trap knowledge, because they were using the traps, like fire traps and stuff, to actually help with the cooking. So that was all very unique and interesting. I like the focus on food more, because there's like a main story. Laos, the main guy, his brother, I think, is captured, and they're trying to find him, but they focus a lot on the food more. Like, they're still on that mission, but there's a heavy focus on the food, which I enjoy. And there's focus on the characters, so they're trying to work together better as a party, so I enjoy all that. And the third episode was they found living armor, which is like armor that just, is usually magic, and it just kind of does stuff on its own, or somebody controls it. And they kind of changed it around in this episode, in this show, to make it where it was like the armor was creatures were inside of it. Because the main guy, Laios, wanted to be monsters so he can eat the armor, and everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you want to eat armor? But it turns out that it was actually, like a shellfish kind of a creature. There's like stuff inside the layers of the armor, and they pulled it out and ate that as like little squid things or something. So very, very interesting and unique stuff. It could just be like a normal, isekai fantasy type thing, but they had all this unique stuff with the food and cooking and all that. And I enjoyed it a lot. It's pretty fun. I'm going to keep watching it. I'll probably talk about it more next time. Don't know much. Don't want to talk too much more about it, and don't know what else to say, really. Wanted to briefly mention the 3 episodes that I watched. It's fun to watch. Also, I wanted to mention the intro and the outro, because I typically really like anime intros and outros. The intro's pretty fun. It's alright. Like, it's not bad. The outro is a banger. I like the outro a lot. It's a great song. Really enjoyable. I would not skip that at all. Intro I could maybe skip, but the outro slaps. Very good. So that's it for my anime. Just gonna be watching the one right now, like I said, until the spring. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, so I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit here. But this is the last section, so because I don't really want this to go too much over an hour. But here's the last section. One more big thing to talk about. One pretty massive thing, actually. There's a new Spider-Man comic that came out at the beginning of January, and Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. Don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I'm saying it here. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time, and Spider-Man in general, all the spider stuff, is like my second favorite thing in the world. I love Star Wars the most out of every piece of media, but right behind that is definitely Spider-Man. I love Miles. I love Gwen, Jessica Drew, a lot of those other characters as well. Love me some spider stuff, Spider-Verse, all of it. It's great. And my, I guess, favorite comic probably, but I haven't really read too many entirely. I read the entirety of Ultimate Spider-Man, at least the original run with Pete. Ultimate Spider-Man that came out in 2002. I read all of that. I love that a lot. Mainly because I played the game when that came out in 2005 or whatever. That's probably my favorite video game of all time. I know it's not necessarily like that special of a game, but I just played it so much when I was a kid, and I love the art style and everything. It's really great. I love that game a lot. I read the whole comic because of that. And then I read some of Miles's issues. I don't think I completely read Miles. I stopped around like, I don't know, 2015-ish. Well, that's when the Ultimate Universe changed. I probably stopped around like the 2013 part. I haven't read all of Miles' stuff in that yet. But I love Ultimate Spider-Man. And that universe ended in 2015. And it kind of merged with the main universe, or some of it did, like Miles. But something's happened in the comics where they've created a new universe, and now we have another Ultimate Universe that's brand new, and it's changing up a lot of things. And the first thing they're starting with is Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's very different and unique because Peter is not Spider-Man, but he's like in his 30s, and he's married to Mary Jane, and he has 2 children. So that right away is very different. He's in his 30s, never got bit by the spider because the maker. I should probably, I guess, mention that first. So in the original Ultimate, I don't know everything. I'm just gonna say what I know. But in the original Ultimate comics, somehow Reed Richards, who's Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards turned into a character called the Maker, who is a villain, I believe. And some shit happened. I don't know about all that. I don't know all the in-between stuff. But there was a comic called Ultimate Invasion, which I did read and don't remember a whole lot of. But I remember the main points that the Maker created the new universe that these Ultimate Comics are in, 6160. So he created that new universe, and he kind of changed a lot of stuff, like how it was supposed to go. Like he stopped Peter from getting bit by the spider when he was 15. So 20 years went by and he never got bit by the spider. A lot of other stuff is different. Tony Stark is like a kid in the universe, and he's actually very important. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is different in this universe, and a lot of people enjoy that because apparently Amazing Spider-Man, like the main comic, is very bad at the moment. I haven't been reading it, but I've heard a lot about Paul and Miss Marvel dying, and that was weird. And I've just heard a lot of weird stuff about it. So Ultimate Spider-Man is kind of a breath of fresh air because there's a lot of unique things that we haven't really seen before. One major thing that I'm going to spoil this too, by the way. I didn't mention that. I'm going to spoil the first issue. That's your synopsis that I just gave. Now I'm going to spoil it and talk about directly what happens. But so one of the major differences is Uncle Ben is alive. That's fucking major. Aunt May is the one who died. I think she actually died in there's like a big incident that happens in the other comics that the Maker like causes something to happen. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's like an explosion, a bunch of people died. Aunt May was unfortunately one of those people. But Uncle Ben's alive. Like that's major. He never got shot. Because every Uncle Ben story I've ever known, he's died, immediately or pretty soon. So Uncle Ben's alive and Peter's in his 30s. That's a very massive difference. And then they're both actually working at the Daily Bugle with J. Jonah, and Jonah is not like completely insane. He's his loud, self still, but he's not like a crazy person who's like constantly, berating Spider-Man and everybody who works for him. He like walks up to Peter and he's like, "Hey, Peter, how's it going, dude?" So that's a big change. And Jonah and Uncle Ben are just kind of friends, which is nice. That's a very interesting dynamic they got there. They actually leave the company in the first issue because Kingpin buys the Daily Bugle, I believe, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not working for you, we're out." So it sounds like they're gonna start their own thing in the next issue. And they actually showed like some preview stuff from the next issue, and Ben and Jonah were like sitting in a sauna together, and some people were already joking, saying like, "Man, they're cute together and they should be a couple or something." But then they showed that picture of them in towels in a sauna together, like sitting right next to each other. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, hold on a minute." Yeah, old man Yowie is what people were saying. So I actually like their characters a lot, and if something does happen, I'm not against that. That'd be funny. It'd be interesting. Be funny, but it would work, I think. So that's a interesting part of it. Matt Murdock made a brief cameo, and he's like a priest, so that's not a typical thing. He's a Catholic usually, as far as I know, but I don't think he's actually a priest most of the time. And I'm guessing he's not Daredevil. He was just there at a funeral. I don't even remember. I think the funeral was just for all the people that died. But yeah, interesting to see him. I hope he shows up again. And yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened, but Harry was talking. Harry Osborn. I think the funeral was either for Norman or like everybody. And that's another interesting thing that Harry Osborn was there. He was talking about Norman, who died. Norman Osborn's dead, and his mom, which is that's pretty typical. That happens pretty often. But yeah, I guess another difference is like Pete was there and Harry was there. Harry was like talking to the audience, and Pete was in the audience, but they don't like know each other. I believe they just kind of met for the first time. I believe in that. So that's a big difference too. Pete and Harry don't know each other. And then I guess I kind of skipped ahead, so I got to read through a lot of my notes. But I believe the only other big thing I can think of is, so how does Pete become Spider-Man? Well, Tony Stark, who is like a kid but knows what the Maker's up to somehow. Tony is he gives a little ball to Pete, and it has a suit inside of it and a message, and he's telling him like, "Hey, the Maker is doing some shit, and things are bad, and you were meant to be a superhero, and I need you and a other, group of people." He's probably gonna go for all the typical people, Avengers and everything. I could really use a group of you. Actually, wasn't he in the future or something? Can't remember exactly. Yeah, Tony was like in the future, and so he sent the message back to Pete in the present. And he was saying something like, I need a group of people to help me with the Maker. And if, we can get superheroes like up and running in 6 months, then we're good. And if that doesn't work out, well, then stuff's going to go bad. So he kind of sends that message to Pete. Pete doesn't really know what to do about it, but he's feeling like kind of lost in life and feels like he's not doing enough. He feels like something's missing. So he talks to Aunt May, or not Aunt May, he talks to Uncle Ben, because that's who he has to talk to now, and he talks to MJ, his wife, and kind of asks for advice and says, I'm like, I want to make a change in my life. Telling him you should go for it, all that kind of stuff. And so at the very end of the issue, he puts on his suit and he becomes Spider-Man, even though it's not technically, it's just like a black suit and not the black suit, not the symbiote. But it's like a black suit and not exactly the red and blue. But in that moment, he essentially becomes Spider-Man. And I thought that was kind of weird at first, at Tony just like giving him his superpowers. He also gives him the spider that bites him. I forgot about that. Kind of weird, but I think it is a very, interesting and unique twist as well, because Pete like wants to become a superhero, because typically he is a superhero and he doesn't really want to be, but he has to be because great responsibility, great power, great responsibility. This time he wants to do it. He wants to help people because he's, 20 years older than he was when he originally got bit. He realizes that people out, in the world need help, and that he can do more if he only had, superpowers. So he uses that great power that he gets, and he's immediately gonna use it, yeah, he's gonna use it responsibly. So I think it's interesting. I think it's a very good start, and I like all the unique stuff. Mainly the obvious, Pete being an adult and becoming Spider-Man. I think that's really cool. It also works because I've always seen him as a kid or a teenager, and I've always, been a teenager, but now I am 26. I'm turning 27 this year. I'm not quite his age yet in the comics, but I'm closer to that adult age. I don't have a wife or kids either, but I can relate more to this type of Peter than the younger type of Peter. I, of course, love to see that. And I love seeing Miles because he's kind of taken over as the younger Spider-Man. But yeah, I can definitely relate more now to an adult because I am an adult. So it's very interesting and I like it a lot. Excited to see how it's going to turn out. They're also releasing, so I'm going to be talking about Ultimate Spider-Man every month from now on. I'm going to keep reading that. And they're also releasing a few other ones. I think I'm going to try to talk about every issue. I'll see how hectic it gets. But at the moment, as far as I know, the only two other things that are announced are Ultimate Black Panther, which I think is out at the time I'm recording this, but I haven't actually read it yet. I wanted to wait till I recorded this. And in March, they are releasing an Ultimate X-Men, and I'm actually very excited for that because I've really kind of been into X-Men lately. Because Marvel Snap, Midnight Suns, which only has Magic and Wolverine, but they're X-Men still. And I actually started reading a little bit of the Miss Marvel X-Men comic, which is in the main universe, because I don't know exactly how it happened or what happened. I didn't read that far back, but Miss Marvel died, and then she came back, and she is an X-Men, or she's a mutant now, so she's part of the X-Men. And I started reading a little bit of that, and it was cool. I wanted to read that because it was written in part by Iman Vellani, who is the actress who plays her in the MCU. So read a little bit of that, got some X-Men there on the side, And yeah, I'm really kind of been into X-Men a lot because I've always liked them, but I've never really gotten too deep into them. And I'm kind of trying to get into them slowly, I guess. So Ultimate X-Men sounds like it'll be very exciting, and I'm interested to read that. So yeah, I'll be talking about that when that comes out. I'll talk about Black Panther next month and Spider-Man issue number 2. And I don't know exactly what else is coming out for the Ultimate Universe, but I will try to keep up with it. This seems like a very good time to keep up with it since the very start. So it's a lot harder to go back to, the issues from the 60s and then go all the way to today. But now seems like a very good jumping off point. I don't know the right phrase there, but yeah. So yeah, that's about it, I think. That's about it for comics. I wanted to briefly mention some personal stuff that I would like to talk about with my channels, my 2 channels. I don't typically want to give out my ideas for videos because I kind of want stuff to be more of a surprise. But I did want to mention my plans here right now, just because I'm excited about my thoughts. And real quick, so since I mentioned my 2 channels, this is my second channel. I originally was going to upload Oceanview to my main channel, but I thought that's probably not the best idea. It will kind of clash with my other videos. But this is my second channel where I'll be putting Oceanview and video game related stuff mostly. And then on my main channel it'll be mostly reviews, mostly of movies, sometimes TV shows and video games, but I gotta kind of figure out how I want to make those videos. So those will be later in the future. If you would like though to get better explanation than this quick random rambly one, I made a video on both my channels explaining my plans and ideas for my channels, so go check that out. And please go check out my Ninja Turtles videos. Just made a video about the 90s movies. Before that I made one about the Michael Bay produced movies, and I like both those videos. I'm actually kind of proud of the 90s one. I tried a lot of different stuff. It's really simple stuff like transitions and backgrounds and stuff, but I feel like I'm improving by doing that kind of stuff. So, and I made it quicker. It took longer to make overall because I was originally doing the bear, but once I actually started doing the TMNT stuff, it took like a week. It was quick, and it would have taken even less time. I had some school stuff I was doing, but if I didn't have that, it would have been even quicker. So I feel like I'm improving, and I'm proud of that. I'm happy about that. So those were my recent things. My next plan, now this is subject to change, but I think I really want to do it, and I've got the idea kind of locked down, I think, for the most part. I have to actually execute on the thing. I was watching something random recently. Someone mentioned Studio Ghibli movies, and I've wanted to watch those for a very long time. Never seen a single one. Not a single Studio Ghibli movie. All the movies that everybody loves, Spirited Away, Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle. Heard about them my whole life. Never seen a single one. So I thought, for myself, so I can actually watch the movies finally, and for some clickbaity reasons, I'm going to make a video about watching all the Studio Ghibli movies. Every single one. And there's about 20 of them. 22, I think, to be specific. So I'm going to make a Ghibli video. And to be specific, I'm going to make 2, because I want to talk about the Miyazaki films, because I thought Miyazaki had a hand in... I've heard about him plenty. He's the main director of a lot of the movies everybody knows, and he has a big hand in the company. And I thought he directed like most stuff or had like a big hand in everything, but it turns out he's done like half of the stuff. So I'm gonna make a video first about the movies he's directed, partially because that's probably the movies that everyone knows very well. And those are the ones I like to watch first. And then I'm going to make a second video talking about all the other ones not directed by him. And I'm going to kind of see how the styles compare, if I can tell much of a difference. So that's my plan for the next videos. I'm going to watch all the Studio Ghibli movies. It's going to take a long time. That'll be the most movies I've watched for a video. The most before was the Saw movies, and that was 10 movies. And they were all quick, so I don't know, it didn't feel that long. This is 11 movies per video, and it's 2 videos, so it'll take a little bit, but I'd like to try to do it. I'll hopefully get the Miyazaki Ghibli video done soon. I might take a break in between the 2 videos because another idea that I've had is I want to make a video about the Avatar Netflix show. Because I love Avatar The Last Airbender. It's very good. I kind of want to rewatch the first season. And then I can watch the Netflix show because that's coming out. And it looked promising. But in the past few weeks, the creators have been saying stuff like they're changing a whole lot of characters, like innate, features and personalities. And everybody's like, oh, this is going to fucking suck, isn't it? So I kind of want to watch it because it's something current. Because I haven't really done too many things that are current. I talked about Saw X, which was sort of current at the time, and I'm gonna be talking about The Boy and the Heron for the Ghibli movie, or for the Ghibli video, and that did come out last year. But Avatar Netflix is coming out at the end of February, and if I can make it, very end of February, beginning of March, then that's much more up to date and current. So I'd like to do it for that reason. And also because I want to see if it's going to suck or be decent. I don't know. I'm interested now because everything they've been saying, sounds like it'll maybe suck. So I'd like to try to make that video. Also, that would be another shot at a TV type thing. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have a big plan that I've been thinking about since like November because Godzilla -1 was coming out. And people were talking about Godzilla. There was a trailer for the Godzilla Kong movie. So, heard a lot about Godzilla. Gojira, as he's called in Japan. Goji, as I've seen people call him. And that's a cute nickname. I'll say that. But, had the idea back in November. The crazy madman psychopath idea to watch every Godzilla movie. And there are about 38, I believe. And that's going to take a really long time. My plan, I would like to wait for Godzilla -1, which I haven't seen yet. I'd like to wait for that to come out on digital so I can put some footage in to the video that I'd like to make. And I'd like to make that a solo thing. Just a video talking specifically about that movie. Because it's the most recent Godzilla, and I kind of want to try to make a video about one movie since all my videos so far have been about multiple movies. The least so far has been the Bay TMNT one with 2 movies, but I want to try to talk about just one movie because hopefully that'll be quicker to make. I'm kind of waiting on that to come out on digital, and then after that video, I will be making 3 videos about all of the Godzilla movies because they're kind of separated into certain eras. So I'm going to try to make a video per era, and that'll also let me, focus on more. If I watch all 30 of them at once, I'm going to like lose track of my thoughts. So I'm going to watch, 10 or 11 or so for one video, make the video, watch the rest of the movies, make the second video, So that's the plan at the moment. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen, partially because I still don't know when -1 comes out on digital. They still haven't said, and I think it's still in theaters at the moment. So kind of waiting on that. That's why I'm partially doing the other stuff and in the meantime. So that's my plans for the moment. Don't know exactly if they'll come through. Don't know if anything will change drastically. I hope not. But we'll find out. And I just want to give you a little sneak peek if you watch this, because I don't really want to talk about this too much on my main channel. I don't want to promise a video because I did that at the end of the Michael Bay video. I said, oh, I'm gonna make a video about the TV show because I wanted to do the bear, but then I changed my mind. It's like, I don't feel confident about this right now. So I'm gonna stop promising things on the main channel in case something changes. But here, I can tell you my ideas, and if they change, well, you'll find out when the video comes out or doesn't. And then in the next Oceanview, I could tell you what went wrong or something. So yeah, this will be a place for some sneak peek ideas of mine. So if you want any more of those in the future, come back for the next month's video. And that's about all I got for today. My throat's kind of getting tired. My voice is getting tired. I've been talking for an hour straight. Don't typically do this too often. So that'll do it for Oceanview number 2, January 2024. First of the year. And I think it was a good month. Nice month. I'm trying to adjust to doing this regularly. I'm trying to keep up with it because I've done YouTube stuff in the past and it did not stick with it. And I'm really trying to stick with it because it's a fun hobby and it will hopefully actually benefit me with a real job. Because if I'm not editing and making stuff, then I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So at least I'm practicing and trying to get used to the job that I would like. So yeah, I'm doing my best to keep up with it, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job so far. I released 3 videos since December 16th, I think, or 15th is when I released the Saw video. I released 3 videos in about 2 months, month and 3 weeks, something like that. So that's the most videos I've ever released in succession, probably, with the level of quality that I've done. I've released plenty of videos in succession, but with very, very minimal editing. But this is like, I put a lot of time into these videos and I released them quick enough, I guess, for someone who hasn't done this much. So yeah, I'm proud of what I've done so far, and I'm gonna do my absolute best to keep up with it. So if you watch this, thank you very much. Please leave a like, subscribe, watch some other videos, do some stuff to have some fun. Please help me get some viewers, and if I can get some money, I can buy some water to drink because my throat's dry, and I can give it to my manatee friends as well. Save the manatees. I'm not associated with that, but go save them. They're beautiful creatures. I don't know what else to say. This is the part where I ramble a lot and need to force myself to stop the recording. Anyway, thank you again. Love you. Manatees roll, dudes. I don't know. Goodbye.